And the next order of business is that we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. And again, if everyone would put yourselves on mute and wait until the flag is up, and Dan will start us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I believe the Reverend Carruthers is with us tonight to do the invocation. Thank you for joining us. You're on mute.
Okay, there we go. Now you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, God Almighty, we come before you right now, and we come in the midst of the days and times which, to say the least, are exciting. They are full of passions, and so, Lord, that's not what we're about tonight. We're simply about the business of a city. And so, Lord, we would ask that you would give each of these leaders that are here this evening your wisdom, give them guidance. We pray for your blessings upon this city, that it might prosper and be a place for people to come and live and to do their business and to enjoy things of life. Lord, we pray for those who serve this city in terms of elected office, in terms of city employees, but particularly those that put themselves on the line, our police and our fire. Lord, just look after them, protect them in their duties, and keep them safe and secure and bring them home each and every time they're off duty to their family. Lord, we thank you for these things and ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much. And if Mr. Missy will now call the roll.
All right, Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Councilwoman Czajka.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Present.
Pro Tem Lally.
Here.
And Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion.
A motion by Lally,
Support. Blevins.
supported by Blevins. Are there any corrections? If there are none, take the vote, please.
All right, I've got a motion by Councilman Lally, supported by Councilman Blevins. Shall the agenda pass as presented? Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
Councilman Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Czajka.
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
The yeses have it. Next item on the agenda, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of January 12th?
Motion, Valerius.
Motion Valerius,
Second, Lloyd.
second by Lloyd. Are any corrections?
All
Hearing
right.
none? I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, I cut in too quick.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. If you'll take the vote, please.
Yes, thanks. Sorry, Mayor. Yes, I have a motion by Valerius, supported by Lloyd, to support to approve the minutes for December 22nd as presented. Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Czajka.
Yes.
Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
And Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
The yeses have it. Next
Thank
item,
you.
Mayor.
The first order under organizational business is the appointment of a full-time police officer, Ellen Czajka. effective January 11th, 2021. May I have a motion?
Motion Valerius.
Motion by Valerius,
Second, Lloyd.
second by Mr. Lloyd. Any discussion?
Mayor, I think it's pronounced Czajka. I could be wrong.
Czajka? I should have asked.
believe so. Just as
Thank
like it's spelled out there.
Yeah, just like it's spelled.
Well, I'm going to throw one at you one of these days and see how you pronounce it. I worked with a woman that the spelling and the pronunciation is unbelievable. Any other comments? Questions?
Officer Ellen will be appointed or will be sworn in at the next council meeting, the 26th meeting. I'm not going to try to butcher her last name, but it's Officer Ellen as far as I know.
All right, Michael, if you would take the vote.
All right, Mayor, I have a, excuse me, motion by Councilman Valerius, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to approve the appointment of Ellen Czajka. I hope I got it right. Effective January 11, 2021. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
And Councilman Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
And the yeses have it. Next item, Mayor.
Okay, the next item is the appointment to a number of commissions and reappointments. And what we are going to ask is any of the appointees who are in attendance, when your name is called, if you would raise your hand so that we can at least pull your picture up, because I would like everybody to get to see you. On the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, we are appointing Artis Bennett and Joseph Palmisano for terms to expire in 2023. And I want to thank Artis. I had wanted to make a change on another board on which he sat, and he was gracious enough to accept a position on the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority where we had a lot of vacancies for an extended period of time. And Joseph, thank you also.
Thank you.
For the Construction Board of Appeals, this is a new board that we approved last year in conjunction with an ordinance. These are all new appointees: John Ciotti, Chris Frazier, and Stephen Guerrero. If any of them are here, Chris is here.
Ciotti is here too.
Hold it now.
And Stephen, yes.
Thank you.
And none of them are making themselves visible to us. Thank you, gentlemen,
Thank you.
for volunteering to sit on this board. Very much appreciated. For the Downtown
There you go.
Development Authority,
Mr. Guerrero is here.
yes, I saw. There he is. Thank you, Stephen. For the Downtown Development Authority, Dan Smith, who is a business owner, is going to fill an unexpired term. Tom Strobel, who is a business owner, is going to fill an unexpired term. And Fred Frank, Cindy Riviera, and Peter Zingas are being reappointed. Mr. Zingas is also a business owner. And it's nice to see all of you who could make tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be seen.
And Mr. Strobel's in. I believe, Mayor, I believe all of them are in there now.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I didn't see Cindy Riviera though.
No, Cindy wasn't there, I don't think.
Okay.
But thank you all very much for volunteering. We very much appreciate it. On the Historical Commission, we have Elizabeth Hardig and Sandra McGusson who are being reappointed.
Gotta check there. I'm used to looking for the name of it goes by their first name, and then as soon as they raise their hand, they move all the way to the top. So that's okay. We'll find them all here. And we got Mrs. McGusson,
There's Liz.
and I do not see Mrs. McGusson on here.
Sandra's not in? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
For the Housing Commission, Rupert Miller is being reappointed to that commission. I'm not sure he was going to be able to make it.
I cannot see him on here.
For the Library Advisory Board, these are all reappointments. Christine Blahnik, Pam Cook, and Margaret Laskowski.
It was Pam Cook, and then I don't see. Oh,
You get to practice your
see
keyboard
Pam?
skills.
Ugh. And I don't see. I see Pam by there, and I don't see Marge Laskowski.
Thank you.
No, okay.
I'm here.
But
Marge, Pam is here, right?
yep,
Yes, I
Christine
am.
and Pam.
Yep. Well, thank you all again. I'm glad you could make it in some form.
Thank you.
On the Local Officers Compensation Board, we have 3 new appointments. One is filling a term which is expiring at the end of this year. We had a lot of vacancies on that board, and they only meet every odd numbered year, and very briefly, and they review compensation for elected officials. Timothy Estheimer, Robert McLaughlin, Mary Wallace, and Frank Szyskowski. No, we had an email from Frank. I think he said he was not going to be able to make it tonight. Appreciate us letting him know. Robert?
And I believe Tim Estheimer had a school board meeting.
Yes, he's got a
this
school
evening,
board meeting.
South 8 schools.
Right. So I think,
Thank you.
thank you all very much. Appreciate your volunteering for this, and you do provide a great service to the city. For the Parks and Recreation Commission, these are all reappointments. Brad Kurtz, Jim Perry, and Doug Shepard.
I don't see any of those 3 gentlemen in there. Nope, I don't. I apologize. There's none of the 3.
Okay. On the Planning Commission, I have 2 new appointments in Paul Carnarvon and Timothy Estheimer, and 1 reappointment, Mr. Nick Darren.
And Mr. Darren was not able to attend.
Right. And neither is Tim, but there's Paul. Nice to
Thank
see you,
you.
Paul. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And last but not least, on the Zoning Board of Appeals, John Ciotti is a new appointment on that board.
I did get him. He's brought back for an encore performance there
Oh, second round, right.
twice today. So
Thank you.
Well, to all of you, as I indicated in my emails to you, normally we had started a process where we would have you all in attendance at our live meeting and bring you up to the front podium and swear you in at that meeting. And unfortunately, circumstances dictate that we cannot do that at this point. But I'm glad you were able to attend in the form that you were. You will make your arrangements with Mr. Mizzi to be sworn in and official. And at some point, I am hoping that as we bring commissions in to talk to us and the residents about what they do and what services they provide to our community, that we will get to see you live and in person at that time. But again, many thanks. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally. Second by Mr. Schlack. Any comments? Hearing none, Mr. Mizzi, if you will take the vote, please.
Okay, Mayor, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Schlack, to approve the authority boards and commission appointments as presented at this meeting. Shall this resolution pass, Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
and Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The motion is successful. Next item, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Kibbe,
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. 27 residents in attendance or department heads. Usually it's just a bunch of department heads over there being bored out of their wits, but we appreciate the residents there. Council, thank you for allowing us to do a little bit of extra time to be able to move everybody in and out. And that Zoom has been very interesting, and we're trying to change up a little bit so we can still be some normalcy as to how your normal meetings go. And so we just a little bit of cumbersome there, but we'll always make it through there. So just a few updates as the beginning of the year. It's been a little slow. Happy to have a new year. Although I'm not too sure 2021 is any different than 2020 at this point in time. We're not seeing much change, I guess. But here in the city, Amanda is working hard to start the budget process for the 21-22 budget. That'll begin on July 1st. She was over here today. I don't know if she was laughing or crying about the 5-year budget and some issues that Bob Katie pointed out to her that she didn't need to do, and she's been working working really hard on this to get everything set for the last week and a half to get everything ready to go. And I'm not too sure she needed to. So I think she was laughing. I was laughing with her, but I'm not too sure she was laughing though. But nonetheless, Bob has been working on the DPS project that is back into full swing now after the holidays. They've been busy. The floor of the large storage portion of the garage. I don't know how to say this because there's the garage where they're going to do the maintenance garage, and there's the storage garage. They've been working on the pouring the concrete for that portion. I'm reading my notes here, and that is a poorly written sentence. The floor of this large storage portion of the building is being poured with. Obviously, it's concrete, so apologize for that. Bob has some really cool video that they've taken on how it was. If I can get a clip of that, I try to put it up on our Facebook because it is really interesting. As they've been able to do a 350-yard pour in 5 hours. That is a lot of concrete in a short period of time. Technology is definitely at the forefront in this for this company with the pouring. They've got basically a 30-foot wide boom that can go out, I think, about 40 feet, and it vibrates the ground or vibrates the concrete and levels it, and then they just have to go and do a nice finish. And then they get on these hydroplane type buffers, and they run over the cement concrete to make it to the smooth surface and give it your texture. It's a really cool thing. I haven't seen it in person myself, but when he brought the video, it reminded me of our when we were doing the ice rink in Melvindale back about 20-some years ago, I guess it is now. They're going to also be working on underground work and the fire hydrant installations this week, and they are starting to make some progress in getting things cleaned up. But it is a mud pit. If anybody's interested in going over there, I'll probably get with myself or Bob and just make sure whenever you come in there, you have a pair of boots and a change of boots or change of shoes to get. You do not want to get back in the car. Nobody's going to be happy with you at the end of the day on that one. So. Work has started on the Lawrence Street pump station. This is our sanitary pump station that's over by Brant Park on Lawrence and what is that? Not College. It's going to be Paris area, just on the other side of the park, and that should take about a month to complete. Chief LaFon and Deputy Chief Can, they've been helping the departments. We just got a notification today that to start preparing for the list of employees that are ready to get the vaccine for. That are in categories 1B and 1C. Fire department has already gone through and gotten their first shots. They got their a month ago. They got their second shots yesterday. I did see Chief LaFon and Chief Can both seem to be okay. They didn't have any extremities growing extra. They did have, I think Deputy Chief Can said his arm was a little sore. But nothing there, and I think Chief may have had a grumble, but nothing major that they weren't worried about, and they are vaccinated now and ready to go. And I believe they had 23 out of 26 of the firefighters. They had one that is not being able to be vaccinated because he is in somewhere in the Middle East or Afghanistan and the reserves. So, but the majority of them were there, and I think there's a couple other issues, but nothing major on that. Question came up, I think it was Councilman Lloyd, and I just want to put an update here for the historical house. So over the past few months, the repairs to the historical house have included electrical and fire issues being addressed, the sump pump being installed and operating on a temporary basis until we're able to address a bigger sewer issue that needs to be taken care of here in the summertime. The garage wall has been stabilized, but now the garage door needs to be replaced. So we're working on that list, and we have a list that the commission had come up with. We're going to be working on that, pricing that out so we can have that ready for council and the budget here as we get ready again, as we're preparing for the budget time now. Bids are expected next week for the solid waste collection, and I'll have that probably coming to the council on the 26th of January. We had, I believe, 6 contractors that are interested in putting a bid in. So we'll see what comes about when the final bids are due. And then the middle of February, the street improvements and water main replacements will be back here due to the city. And I believe we're going to have those on the agenda for the February 24th meeting. I believe it is the second meeting in February. And then City Hall will be closed here on Monday, January 18th for Martin Luther King Day. And we'll make note of that to the audience, to the Facebook page as well. I usually don't like to go off rumors here, but I do get a really pretty good reliable source here in the area from the city of Port Huron with some legislators. And it appears that the governor is going to be doing a press conference tomorrow. And the rumor is that the bars and restaurants will be remaining closed for an additional 2 weeks, opening 2/1 of 21 with limited capacity. As a person that loves to have breakfast, I hope he's wrong, because I'd like them to open up on the 16th. But I'm going to guess that he's probably pretty accurate on that front, because he's been accurate all along. And then I've got just a couple of things here. We did receive 2 letters of retirement from the fire department, and I mentioned earlier that they are advertising 4 positions to be filled. Captain Dean Love is planning to retire April 28th of this year. He's been here a long time. I don't have his date of service. I do apologize. And then the other retiree will be Lieutenant Mike Stasek, and his last day will be April 27th. And he's pretty adamant. He said on April 27th, on that day, I plan to retire. So I take it he's going to be out of here on the 27th of April, and we do appreciate his years of service. I also received one more letter. This one, I'd almost like you all to take a vote on whether we should receive it or not. And my recommendation would be not to receive it. And that was a letter of retirement from Fire Chief Doug LaFond. He's planning on retiring July 7th of this year. Again, I would recommend a no vote on this one and not accepting this. The consequences that we have to deal with would be Mrs. LaFond, and that is a very difficult task there. So I may want to rethink my thought process on this one. But we have a great team here, and Doug is an integral part of that. I've mentioned numerous times over the last 9 months with COVID, Chief was able to step in for a role that I have as the emergency manager for the Wayne County services, but it really made more sense to have Chief LaFond in that role of dealing with them on supplies that he needed and so forth. And he has taken that role on, and I greatly appreciate it. It's cut me out of that process, and it was really not necessary for me to be there when it was him that had to get that stuff all organized. And I do appreciate his stepping into that role for me. We're definitely going to miss him. And I've tried to talk him out of it, but I hear Disney World calling his name apparently. So
I think perhaps we might be able to, perhaps we could discuss this being contingent upon the disappearance of COVID-19 and the no longer having a need to have an emergency manager liaison with Wayne County. I mean, you know, all plans should have a contingency plan, and I think that in this instance, that might be appropriate. So I think maybe we need to talk to our city attorney about that.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I don't see Doug's hand raising up that he's got any objections to any of this, so I assume everything would be great on that. So, Mayor and Council, that's all I have this evening. We do have a long agenda here, so I won't take any more of your time. Oh, but he did raise his hand. Hold on. Let me move him over here real fast. Chief LaFond.
Oh, you only see a little bit of me. There we go. I do have a contingency plan, and his name is Deputy Chief Ed Can. He's thoroughly trained. He's scared to death, but he's your man. He's got this thing handled. He's on top of it.
Well, and we still have a phone number, right?
We do. Yep. Mark's got my number, and so does Ed, and so you know you can get a hold of me. If I take a message and call you back, it's because I'm on Thunder Mountain or something. You know.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a great team here, and we're working on getting those contingent or plans for secession, and making sure we have people well trained in the to step into those roles as they're needed. We cannot be left with that, missing that opportunity in other departments, and that we're working on those as well to make sure that everybody is covered in those departments is going forth. That's at least the plan to get those in place.
Yeah, I have full confidence that you guys won't even miss me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
It'll be smooth as silk, I promise.
Well, we could miss you personally though, right?
Yeah, that you can miss me personally, but I think professionally, I think you're in good hands.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief.
All right, can I have a motion to accept and file the city administrator's report?
Motion, Valerius.
Motion Valerius, second by Psych. I've got hands going up. I'm going to take Psych on this one. Valerius and Psych. Are there any questions related to the report? If there are none, Mike, could you take the vote, please?
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Valerius, supported by Councilwoman Syke, that this was the city administrator operational report, correct? Yes.
Correct.
Okay, shall this motion pass? Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilwoman Blevins,
If only the chief takes me to Disney World, you know, but yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
and Mayor McLeod.
Yes,
The yeses have it. The motion is adopted. Next item, Mayor.
thank you. Now we come to the portion of the meeting that's open for public comments. If anyone who is in attendance would like to make any comment, please raise your hand. And we will get you in. The only thing that we ask is that you limit your comments to 4 minutes and give us your name and your street on which you live. Do not give us the full address.
I don't see anybody. Yeah, Mayor, nobody, I don't see any hands being raised.
Okay. And we will move on to the consent agenda. We have purchasing actions of claims and accounts, the payroll report, finance actions of the December 2020 finance overview, budget to actual report, balance sheet, and cash flow. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Lally.
Second, Lloyd.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. The clerk take the roll, please.
Okay, Mayor, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to approve the consent agenda as presented this evening. Shall this resolution pass? Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
and Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
The yeses have it. Next item, Mayor.
Thank you. On to resolutions. Resolution 1, to accept and file the Downtown Development Authority annual report for the fiscal year 2020. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack, support by Councilwoman Syke. Are there any questions? Hearing none, would you take the roll call, please?
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Schlack, supported by Councilwoman Syke, to accept and file the DDA annual report for fiscal year 2020. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, Mayor.
Thank you. Resolution 2, to approve the City of Allen Park's participation in the Wayne County CDBG Urban County Program for program years 2021, 22, and 23, and authorize the mayor to sign the Urban County Cooperative Agreement for Federal Community Development Block Grant Program. You have a motion.
I'll make the motion, Mayor.
Motion by Lally,
Second, Valerius.
second by Valerius. Are there any questions?
I'll go give a real brief item here. Is that this is a similar, you already approved this back in October under a different agreement. The county didn't think we needed to have a formal resolution. I had council do that anyways, just because I like to have a record of it for my files. Come to find out, HUD told them that they needed to have council resolutions to that, and they had to actually have a new agreement. Go figure.
Signed.
So that's where we're at.
Very good.
Okay, if there are no questions, will you take the vote, Mike?
All right, Mayor, I got a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Valerius, to approve the Wayne County CDBG Urban County Program Agreement. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
The yeses have it. Next item, Mayor.
Okay, resolution 3, to approve the MERS Defined Contribution Plan Adoption Agreement Addendums for Divisions 110327, 106778, 106074, and 110225, and dissolve Division 110308. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Syke, second by Lally.
With the explanation, please.
Yeah, I will ask for that after we've had them. So I have Syke and Lally. Okay, questions? We would like a brief overview of what all this means.
Yeah, so we got an email back from MERS back in late October that they needed us to approve addendums, adoption agreement addendums for the defined contribution plan. The defined contribution plan is what everybody out that has I'm going to put a quotation, retirement plan with the city outside of police and fire. They still have defined benefit plans. So this would be DPS, majority of the DPS, clerical, administration, are all part of these plans. They were looking to make sure that they're going through a compliance process, and they need to make sure and ensure that they are administering our plans to our specifications. This has been a big issue with MERS across the state on the other aspects, more so the defined benefit side. And I think they're just now trying to get back to the defined contribution side to clean up their files. And they want to make sure that what we report is includable wages, or whether we allow part-time employees or temporary employees to participate in the program. And that's what those documents do. So basically what I end up doing is going through all the old plan documents that I had on file and verifying that this is how we want to do the operations. And that's what I've done in these, and to do the addendums to update those for MERS. We currently have the 5 plans and that includes the 24th District Court. As you recall, those were employees of the city years and years and years ago. They've been carved out, but we still have to sign off on that plan for them. And then it'll include administrator, the appointed employees, TPOM employees, again, the 24th District Court. And then we had one plan, we have nobody in it. And so when I talked to the representative from MERS, Sue Feinstein, Suggestion was just that we dissolve that completely, as it's not necessary at this point in time to have. And this, again, this is only dealing with the defined contribution plans. With MERS, we still have healthcare savings plans, HCSPs for retiree healthcare. That is not part of this plan at this point in time.
Thank you, Mark.
Are there any other questions? If not, Michael, would you take the vote, please?
All right, Mayor, I have a motion. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my thing froze for a second. I have a motion by Councilwoman Sykes, supported by Pro Tem Lally, to approve the MERS defined contribution agreement addendum as discussed. Shall this resolution pass? Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
yes,
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
and Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
The yeses have it, Mayor. The next item, please.
Resolution 4 to readopt the City of Allen Park Title VI non-discrimination plan with the 7 changes, 4 changes of the address, cover, page 8, page 27, and page 34, 2 changes of the mayor's name on pages 8 and 10, and updated the organizational chart to 2020, and authorized the mayor to sign the document on behalf of the City of Allen Park. May I have a motion?
Motion Valerius.
Motion by Valerius,
Second.
second by Schlack. Questions, discussion, clarification?
I don't want to repeat the same stuff the mayor just read. That's basically, that was everything. There's 7 changes to the document.
Sounds good to me.
We take the roll call then.
All right, Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Valerius, supported by Councilman Schlack, that we adopt the amendments to the Title VI non-discrimination plan. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
yes,
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
and Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
The yeses have it, Mayor.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to, I think, what Mark would call the Tom Murray portion of the agenda.
I
Starting with resolution 5.
Yeah, I only had 3 items, so I stopped at that. When I seen Tom had 4, I'm like, I can't beat him, so.
Yeah. To purchase 2 Alcoa pressure washers and accessories from Gilbert Sales and Service, Inc. in the amount of $12,470 from account 401-000-985-003. Can I have a motion?
Motion Blevins.
Motion Blevins,
Second, Lloyd.
second by Lloyd. Questions, discussion?
Just for clarification, Tom, everything that we're looking at here tonight is going to be for our new building that we is currently under construction. Is that accurate?
Correct. And I want to make one statement. Bob made me put all this on. They need the stuff.
And this is all essentially, this is stuff that we are going to be using. We're building this building because we need to take care of these really expensive trucks that we have, and this is stuff that you need to essentially continue to maintain the equipment that we have that we're building this facility for.
Yes, not just DPS trucks, but we maintain all the police cars, the fire equipment, the parks and rec equipment. It's a very pivotal piece of equipment that we need there for all our operations.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Anybody else have a question, comment? If not, then Mike, if you could take the roll call, get us some pressure washers.
All right. Madam Mayor, I have a motion by Councilman Blevins, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to approve those power washers, or pressure washers, excuse me. Shall this resolution pass? Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
and Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Thank you. Resolution 6, to purchase one set of wireless lifts and accessories from Gray Manufacturing in the amount of $61,102 from account 4010009850003. Motion.
Make the motion.
Lally motion. Schlack second, and I thought I saw that hand go up.
I feel like I'm at an auction.
Huh? I know. We need those little cards with the numbers on them, right?
Yeah.
I'll get good at this just as soon as, just right before we go back to live, right? Are there any questions regarding these purchases? We're good on that? Okay, Mike, if you could take the vote, please.
Okay, Mayor, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Schlack, to approve the wireless lifts as presented. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
and Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
The yeses have it. Next item, Mayor.
Resolution 7, to purchase 2 rotary model SPO 20TA lifts from Allied Inc. in the amount of $39,238 from the appropriate account. I have a message. Motion.
Motion, Valerius.
Motion hilarious. Thank you.
Second, Lloyd.
Second by Lloyd. Any questions? Okay. Mike, if you'll take the vote, please.
Okay, Mayor, I have a motion by Valerius, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to approve the, well, obviously the rotary model SPO 20TA lifts. I got a, shall this resolution pass? Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
and Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
and Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Sorry, the yeses have it. Next item, Mayor.
Thank you. Last resolution, to purchase a Kaiser air compressor in the amount of $15,300 from the appropriate account. Motion.
Motion, Lloyd.
Motion Lloyd.
Second, Valerius.
Second Valerius. Any questions? Christmas came a little late this year, I think. Michael, if you could take the roll call vote.
Thank you, Mayor. I got a motion by Councilman Lloyd, supported by Councilman Valerius, to approve the Kaiser air compressors. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we come to council comments. So Mr. Lloyd leads off tonight.
I think that it's not often I'm lost for words. It's not often, but this was a challenging week, and I think that we all know what I'm talking about. This was a challenging week for American democracy. and it was very sad, the events that took place. However, when things like that happen, I'm reminded why we are all doing what we do, and that is because this government, the government that we are all taking a part of, is the one that has one of the biggest impacts on all of our lives, the lives of our loved ones, and the lives of the loved ones that will follow after us. It is very easy in times like this to take a look at what's going on to say government's broken. But I tell you today that this government is functioning and despite some very difficult things. And I understand that this might not necessarily, city government isn't necessarily sexy. It's not something that will get you excited when you're reading your news in the morning with your coffee. But buying these power washers, this lift, these are the things that are going to help make sure that the snow in front of your house is plowed and the street is salted and that the police car is able to get to your house when there's an emergency. These are the things that are truly impacting our lives. And I just want to say that, and I know that to varying degrees, people that see this, that I am personally incredibly proud to be serving with such wonderful individuals as yourself that represent the city of Allen Park and do the business of Allen Park almost every day. And I am incredibly proud of the city itself, the department heads down to the workers, everybody that makes sure that this is a place that we want to live. So I think that when I come here, this is encouraging to me. This is something that I'm proud of. And I very, very much, I appreciate everybody from the commissioners to the employees to the elected officials. Thank you so much for doing the business of this city, for doing the business of this government, because that truly makes a difference in the lives of our citizens. So thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Dan. Pam?
Yes, I too, like Dan, watched the proceedings on the TV with the assault on the Capitol, and I kept thinking to myself, wow, what if that happened to us? I can't picture us ever having that kind of issues, but it was just mind-blowing. I just could not picture it, and I was so disappointed to hear that there were actually Michiganders who were taking part in the riot. And I guess that's all I have to say. I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Matthew?
Thank you. First, I want to congratulate, I hope once again I get her last name right, Officer Ellen Czajka on her appointment to the Allen Park Police Department. In these days, it's a struggle to find people dedicated and willing to work in that job field. So I congratulate her and look forward to her official appointment next council meeting. I wish her all the best of luck in her field training, and I want to thank her for her decision to work in law enforcement, to dedicate and serve and protect the citizens of Allen Park. Piggybacking on that, I want to thank all of our courageous, dedicated police officers and firefighters, who have been, since the pandemic started, continuing to do what they do each and every day in conditions that, are just, crazy. I want to thank all the individuals that were appointed tonight, for volunteering their time to the various boards and commissions. Your dedication to Allen Park and to serving the citizens of Allen Park are greatly appreciated. So, and touching on, both Dan and Pam just wanted to say that, despite these events that, we've all been subjected to, and that we've witnessed and continue to hear about. And I want to state that I'm still immensely proud to be a citizen of the United States. I served this country. I continue to believe that this country is the greatest country in the world. I believe that things will get better. And that I just hope and pray for everyone. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Matthew. Gary.
Well, I want to start off by saying thank you to Future Officer Czajka for joining our department and becoming part of our great stoic history that is Ellen Park, and all the commissioners that stepped up to take part in getting more involved, and those that have been reappointed to reconfirm their passion for our city. And like my colleagues, my heart aches for what I saw in Washington. As a veteran, especially, really kicked me hard to see that there was actually, I'll call it what it is, domestic terrorists that want to claim themselves to be veterans, do what they did. I don't believe they deserve that title any longer. I thought a lot about this, and I had a whole speech prepared, but I won't go down that road. But I will say, what we saw, it wasn't a surprise to me, and it shouldn't be a surprise to those that are truly think about what's happened. I mean, we saw it in April when the same-minded people stormed our Michigan Capitol. We saw it when a dozen people were arrested in a plot to kidnap our governor. We saw it again at the TCF Center when a group of people tried to steal our election process. We can't sit by and just let this happen. We got to stand strong, be the Americans that we are, be the Ellen Parkers that we are. We have to admit, and once and for all, that racism is real. Gender equality must happen. Healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right. Lending a helping hand is not a sign of weakness. And veterans, first responders, and citizens all deserve respect. We might not always agree, but I know there is one thing that we agree, that we are Americans. We can do better. We must do better. We must find solutions and seek peace. We have to look forward to a time when our schools are fully open, and a hug from grandma doesn't simply come over a telephone call or a Zoom call. And that when the air is filled with sticky cotton candy and buttery popcorn that we can't wait to get our hands on from our street fair. You can't let a setback like this, our country, hold us back. Because as everyone on this call has said, and I do have respect for everyone that I'm serving with, because government will continue and that it is strong. And with that, I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Charles.
First off, Happy New Year to everyone. And yes, I did get more bow ties for the new year. So I know some people will worry about that. But I want to say great job to the Historical Commission for selling about 100 ornaments. And they do have a waiting list for new ones to be made. So great job to the commission. Thank you to Wayne County Commissioner Sam Bandoon and Wayne County for getting these welcome Wayne County face masks, giving it to City of Allen Park and all different communities. So please make sure everyone keep wearing your masks, even if when you get your vaccine. Thank you to the residents for stepping up and volunteering on joining on the boards and commissions, giving back your time. Is a wonderful feeling for helping the city out, and I just want to say great job to all of you. Another reminder, the third Allen Park Today magazine, that it does have the recycle calendar for 2021. So again, if you haven't received one, they have copies at City Hall. And one thing for someone, especially like me, who always forgets is a recycle week or not, I go to the digital link and I screenshot on my phone to have it on my phone always, so that in case someone asks me, or for myself to know which week is recycle week and what that is. So just a idea. Keep supporting local businesses, restaurants. If most likely probably they won't be opening, but please keep making sure you're supporting our local businesses, because we're Allen Park strong. Short of what happened, I don't want to keep repeating, but what happened last week, it's something I never would have pictured seeing in my life. And working at a history museum, and I truly encourage everyone, but please go and keep learning some history, and so that we don't repeat what happened in the past. And it's disappointing what happened, and great job to our first responders on that. And then lastly, I hope everyone has a successful, healthy 2021, and let's get the job done always. And I yield my comments. Thank you.
Mr. Lally.
Yes, I am very proud to serve under the Mayor McLeod and all the council people that's around me. I echo all your comments. I came here in 1961. I was 12 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I kissed the ground when I got out of that plane. I didn't come on a boat. I came on a plane. I was a little bit newer than the other. Every day, I kiss the ground that I walk on. This is the best country in the world. It don't matter what everybody thinks about what happened at the Capitol. It's terrible. It's just broke my heart. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know who started it, whatever. I don't know, but it's terrible that this happened. I fought for this country in Vietnam, whether you guys know, I'm sure you know, but it's terrible. I come back here, I couldn't even, when I left the plane, when I come back to the United States in Gulfport, Mississippi, the end of the plane from Vietnam, they told us not to wear your uniform because they will spit on you and call you child killers and all that. But see, they didn't know the whole story. We were child too. We were children of them. We did what we had to do. It took a long time for them to realize who we are. And I'm telling you again, this country is the best country in the world. And it don't matter. I still kiss the ground that I come in. And you guys are the best people I'm working with right now. Okay? And that gotta go for that. But I gotta tell you, I want to thank a few people, especially the new police officer. Her name is Czajka. God bless her. Welcome aboard. Did I say that name right?
We'll get it right eventually.
But anyway, I just wonder, I want to ask the chief about when is she going to get lasered? Tasered.
Tomorrow.
Tasered.
Tasered. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
1 o'clock. Facebook.
It's going to be on Facebook. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So let's watch her. Bravo. God bless her. Welcome to Allen Park. I want to thank all the officers, fire officers that's going to retire. God bless you. Thank you for all the work that you did. And I want to tell you one thing, Doug, you ain't leaving until you talk to me. We got a lot of time yet. God bless all of you. And I want to thank all the new commissioners that got appointed to the position. God bless. I know you'll do a good job. And if I forgot somebody, I'm sorry. And thank you to Linda Daras for explaining the nice communication. That was really appreciated what she talked about. And I would like to know more about it. I'm sure pretty well at Sud's meeting, I will talk about that probably. And thank you for the Reverend for doing our blessing for this evening. And then I yield my time to God. God bless all you guys.
Thank you, Tony. Mike, do you have anything that you'd like to tell us?
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. God bless you and good night.
Thank you, Mike. Well, usually I try and write something down, but I knew that tonight I was going to hear some really personal things from all of you, and I appreciate it. I had so many emotions I went through last week. I was angry, and I was sad, and I was angry, and I was sad. I haven't felt like that since September 11th. It was gut-wrenching. I was embarrassed. I have friends in other countries, and I know what the feedback is from them. It eroded away our position as a world leader. We looked like many other countries where we have criticized them about unfair elections and the failure to let their people vote. I go along with Pam. The whole thing is mind-boggling. I can tell you that every clerk in this nation, regardless of their party, is very conscientious about how elections are conducted. And I know that you've heard Mike talk about this over and over again, and everyone who has ever worked an election for him is thoroughly trained and cautioned. I visited the polling places and I know what was going on there. I despair at people who want to cling to lies. It's, as a parent, to me, it's childish. I didn't win. I didn't get my way. I won't accept it. I'm going to pound my fists and roll around on the floor until I get my way, Mom. That's not the way it works. It will never work here. But as long as we have people who are so gullible that they don't question things which are seemingly far-fetched, we will continue a slide into mediocrity. I am so thankful that at this level of government, it is nonpartisan, because I belong to neither party. I am an independent. I owe no fealty to any party, and I never will. We have a Pledge of Allegiance, which oddly enough, didn't really become a Pledge of Allegiance until 1942. We got through numerous wars without pledging allegiance. And it wasn't until 1954 that they added under God, because they didn't want us to be resemble the godless communists. But we got through more wars before that time too. And you think about the pledge, it says, I pledge allegiance to the flag. It doesn't say, I pledge allegiance to my party. It doesn't say, I pledge allegiance to my candidate. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And you can drape yourself in the flag and pound your chest and tell everybody how patriotic you are. but your actions will show who you truly are. The only other thing I wanted to mention tonight is that we so often talk about public safety and we forget about other workers who in the line of duty are at risk. And I was reminded of that, although it happened at the end of December, of the DPS worker in East Point that was killed when the trench collapsed on him. So when we talk about our first responders, let's keep in mind the men and women who go out when the sewer lines break or the water main breaks and are at risk. I think that's all I have for tonight. I am, as many of you mentioned, very proud to be serving with all of you. We bring different perspectives to this table and they're good. I'm hoping that we all learn from one another. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. I appreciate each and every one of you tremendously. And I have a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion Blevins.
Motion Blevins,
Second, Lally.
second by Lally. Mr. Mizzy, if you'll take the call, please.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Blevins, supported by Pro Tem Lally, to adjourn the meeting at 7:08 p.m. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Czajka?
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius?
He's on mute.
I didn't want it to end, so yes.
All right, thank you. The meeting is adjourned. All of you have a great evening.